Imagine spending your entire life training to become literally the deadliest, most highly trained assassin on Earth. Now imagine magically waking up in a completely different dimension and just deciding, yeah, I'm totally done with all of that. Let's dive into this explainer, breaking down the absolutely hilarious, incredibly lazy, and epic journey of Zhao Tian in The Invincible House Husband. So our story kicks off with an amazing hook. The Great Yan Dynasty's powerful empress is drowning in political pressure to get married. To dodge this whole headache, she performs a summoning ritual, trying to pull a totally random, powerless servant from another dimension just to play the role of her fake husband. Enter Xiao Qian. When she tells him his one and only job is to just sit back, be a pampered prince, and take on zero responsibilities, you can literally see the stars in his eyes. He is all in. In fact, he's so fiercely dedicated to doing absolutely nothing that when an ultra-powerful, magical, supreme system tries to bond with him, you know, the kind that usually makes these protagonists completely overpowered, he flat-out rejects it. The system panics, tries to force a connection like 9,999 times, totally bugs out, and eventually just begs to be his assistant. Xiao Tian is like, fine, but only if you do all the work. Now, if you're wondering how he gets his insane power without even trying, it literally comes down to pure dimensional math. When Xiao Tian takes his very first breath in this new fantasy world, the plants around him just disintegrate. His frantic system breaks it down for him. On Earth, human bodies are heavily suppressed by 490,000 dimensional rules. But this new world, it only has 3,000. Because his body was forged under the crushing, heavy gravity of Earth's rules, merely existing in this new dimension makes him roughly 470,000 times stronger than the local gods. Oh, and he also happens to have the ultra-rare bloodline of the ancient dragon descendants. No big deal. He taps a rack of high-tier legendary swords just to test the waters, and they completely shatter into dust. With absolute god-tier power literally at his fingertips, what does Xiao Tian do? Absolutely nothing. His priorities are mapped out perfectly right here. About 90% of his daily energy goes straight into eating roast pig and taking epic naps. Another 9% is dedicated solely to hiding his ridiculous strength so the Empress doesn't, actually make him get a real job. And that remaining 1%? Well, that's reserved for the accidental mass destruction he causes whenever someone is foolish enough to interrupt his nap schedule. He is the universe's ultimate slacker, but unfortunately for him, the universe refuses to leave him alone. Section 1. The Secret Protector. Annihilating the Blood Clan. Let's get right into it. So the Empress has to travel north to handle a barbarian invasion, right? She leaves a fierce young warrior named Linger behind to babysit her supposedly useless new husband. But right under Linger's nose, Zhao Tian gets snatched up by this scar-faced assassin from the notorious Blood Clan. They drag him to a cave and try to force him to drink this highly lethal poison to betray the Empress. Zhao Tian just downs the poison like it's a glass of iced tea, completely unfazed, and politely asks if he can head out now so he doesn't miss lunch. When the assassins realize what's happening and attack, Zhao Tian just sighs. At exactly 12:02 p.m., he throws a lazy side punch that vaporizes the kidnappers and obliterates the cave. Linger finally catches up and is completely stunned, but remember, Zhao Tian is terrified of getting a real job, so at 12:05 p.m., he casually leaps into the sky, rips an entire mountain out of the ground, and just drops it on the crime scene to hide the evidence. Classic.
I just wanted to live a peaceful, lazy life. Now I have to destroy everything. This quote pretty much sums up his entire vibe. Realizing the Blood Clan is actively threatening the city and, far more importantly, threatening his nap schedule, he grabs Linger and flies at supersonic speeds straight to their hidden floating fortress. He completely ignores their stealth magic, practically kicking down the front door. The assassins are laughing, calling him a weakling, so Zhao Tian just casually unleashes his suffocating aura and half of them drop to the floor trembling in sheer terror. He vaporizes their top guy, who we'll lovingly refer to as Walmart Goku, with one punch. And when their seduction queen tries their tricks, he instantly rejects her, mostly because if the Empress found out, she might divorce him and cut off his unlimited food supply. Within minutes, the entire clan is wiped off the map.
It's absolutely crucial to remember that Xiao Tian's top priority is always his cover story. Later, the terrifying Swamp Elder from the Dark Soul Palace ambushes him right outside the city. The catch? Linger's mother, the Grand General, is watching from afar. To keep up the charade, Xiao Tian hilariously fakes being a total coward. The Elder thinks he has the upper hand and summons an inescapable acid swamp, a spell that literally costs 30 years of his own lifespan. Xiao Tian just strolls out of it, casually rubbing the lethal acid on his face like it's some sort of high-end spa exfoliant. The Elder's brain just breaks. He is so mentally shattered by this absolute monster that he takes his own life right then and there. And to make sure the general doesn't find any evidence, Xiaotian just exhales. He blows a massive tornado that levels the entire surrounding mountain range into a flat, boring plain.
Moving on to Section 2, Politics and City Building, or as I like to call it, the ultimate freeloader.
Now, Xiaotian isn't just a secret powerhouse. His incredibly lazy genius actually bleeds over into court politics. And it's all because of his absolute favorite personal chef, Mr. Zhang. Zhang also happens to be a government minister, and lately he's been super stressed out about a massive socioeconomic refugee crisis hitting the capital. Xiaotian could not care less about politics, but a stressed chef means late meals, and that is unacceptable. So Xiaotian casually tosses Zhang a storage ring packed with 1 million spirit stones, which, by the way, is just pocket change he looted from the Blood Clan's vault. He lays out a ridiculously smart plan. Don't just hand out food, fund actual infrastructure. They pay the roaming refugee gangs to build roads and bridges, which creates jobs, solves the refugee crisis, and breaks up the gangs all at the same time. They even launch a wildly successful wine brand called the Empress's Grand Reserve. Without even trying, Xiaotian revitalizes the entire economy purely to secure his lazy lifestyle and keep his personal chef happy.
Section 3. Outsmarting the Prime Minister in the Royal Court Clash. When the Empress finally returns from her war, Xiaotian is dragged into facing the royal court. Waiting for him is the incredibly arrogant Prime Minister, who secretly wants his own son to marry the Empress. This guy is absolutely determined to humiliate Xiaotian and prove he's just a useless freeloader. The Prime Minister tries to discredit all of those amazing city-building achievements and demands proof of Xiaotian's competence. His big trap? He pulls out a cursed ancient book containing the lost legacy of the gods. The catch here is brutal. The book is protected by an ancient prohibition spell. If anyone below the 10th heavenly realm even tries to read it, they are instantly obliterated. The Prime Minister smugly bets 6 million spirit stones that Xiaotian can't decipher it, fully expecting our lazy hero to turn to ash right there on the throne room floor. In a totally hilarious twist, Xiaotian just plops down in his chair and mentally asks his system to translate the book for him. The system, sticking to the rules, demands 3,000 mission points. Obviously, Xiaotian refuses to do any actual work to earn them. So the system glitches out in a panic, creates a completely fake mission, literally titled "Sit in a Chair for 1 second," and instantly awards him nearly 10 million points just for resting his legs. It perfectly sets up the absolute soul-crushing embarrassment the Prime Minister is about to face. So Xiaotian casually flips through this insanely deadly ancient book. The lethal magic violently tries to obliterate him, but because his stats are completely broken from the dimensional rule difference, he later tells his friends the death curse felt like a quote-unquote nice massage. The ancient book starts glowing, shoots its ancient characters directly into his mind, and grants him the god-tier legacy without a single drop of sweat. He effortlessly absorbs all of it, completely humiliating the Prime Minister in front of the entire royal court, and cheerfully collects his massive 6 million spirit stone bet. The Prime Minister is left standing there absolutely fuming.
Next up, Section 4, Destroying Dark Soul Palace, a classic rescue mission.
Things finally get deeply, deeply personal when the Dark Soul Palace makes the ultimate fatal mistake. They sneak into the capital and kidnap Minister Zhang. Yes, Xiaotian's personal chef. Let me tell you, these assassins never stood a chance. Mistake number 1, you do not kidnap the guy who cooks the overpowered main character's roast pig. Xiaotian instantly tracks their aura and crashes straight through the roof of their hidden base. Mistake number 2, they force Zhang to swallow a lethal scentworm poison, genuinely thinking it gives them some sort of leverage. Xiaotian literally ignores their threats like background noise. Mistake number 3, they force Xiaotian to sign Heavenly Blood Pact, arrogant enough to believe the literal laws of the universe will strike him down if he attacks. When Xiaotian blasts their leader into mist, the heavens actually do summon a terrifying apocalyptic punishment lightning dragon. But because Xiaotian has the bloodline of the ancient dragon gods, the cosmic dragon just shrinks down, lands on his shoulder, and asks for belly rubs. He tosses the rest of the assassins into a dimensional rift, like taking out the trash.
After casually wiping them from existence, Xiaotian raids their secret vault and finds 32 million spirit stones. And what's his reaction to this unimaginable wealth? He's deeply, deeply annoyed. He actually does the math and hilariously calculates that missing his daily nap, flying all the way out to their base, and dealing with the sheer stress of a missing chef meant they actually owed him 37 million. He literally complains that the dead assassins shortchanged him by 5 million stones for the inconvenience.
And finally, Section 5, A demonic new cliffhanger.
On his way back from saving his chef, Xiao Tian's bizarre, laid-back charm accidentally attracts an incredibly dangerous new threat. He runs into this strange beggar girl who acts incredibly arrogant and entitled. So Xiao Tian does what any grumpy uncle would do. He tries to discipline her by lightly smacking her on the head and telling her to go get a real job. What he is totally unaware of is that this quote-unquote beggar is actually the demonic empress of the sacred demon sect. She's a literal ruler of the underworld. Because she's been surrounded by terrified yes-men her entire life, nobody has ever dared to treat her like that. So she develops a massive, twisted crush on him precisely because he scolded her. Now, this ridiculously powerful demonic ruler is totally obsessed and is actively plotting to steal him away from his wife.
Just look at how the stakes are escalating for our lazy hero. The demonic empress is practically stalking him. Meanwhile, the true masterminds behind all the recent assassinations, the Pavilion of Changi and the Dongyang Empire, are finally revealed to be manipulating the Yan dynasty from the shadows. We even find out they murdered the empress's uncles. Xiao Tian knows exactly who they are and quietly confronts their leadership. So now he's surrounded by massive, hostile factions on all sides, and his secret identity as the strongest being in existence is hanging by a literal thread.
The enemies are rapidly closing in on his beloved empress, and more importantly, the absolute safety of his peaceful, napping and eating lifestyle is under severe threat. We've seen him vaporize elite assassins, completely alter geography, and tame cosmic dragons, all without breaking a single sweat. But as these true masterminds step out into the light, you really have to wonder, how long can the lazy prince keep playing the fool? Will Xiao Tian finally have to drop the act and show the entire world exactly why he's the deadliest man alive? That's the real beauty of this explainer. It constantly keeps you guessing exactly how far he'll go just to avoid getting a real job. So what do you think he'll do next?